Hello everyone, this is Cynthia of Cynthia Plans, and today's video is really exciting because it's sponsored by Office Depot, and I have the opportunity to show you how you can use some of the latest products from Tool to help you save time and get organized, specifically with the purpose of content planning, especially when it comes to video. So I have been doing video content in my job for a couple of years because I work in social media, and of course video is king of content, and it has been for a couple of years now. And I remember when video kind of became the new trend and it was clear that that was going to be the new preferred way that social media companies wanted brands to be able to disseminate content and get information out there. I felt very intimidated because I had never spent any time working on video content. I never took video production in high school. I was never one of those students. The most that I knew about video was taking film class, which is basically, I'm a consumer of video, never necessarily a producer or director. So I felt incredibly intimidated, but the challenge afforded me an opportunity to really level up, learn some new skills, and figure out how I could rise to meet this challenge. So I, working with our videographer at work, learned a lot about video production, really learned that my innate storytelling skills that I had learned in college when I was studying English Lit, just my own personality of enjoying writing, being able to tell a story through writing, kind of figuring out in a different medium, in a different format, how I could still make those talents and things that I did know and did inherently understand work in just a different kind of way. So I really learned a lot about storyboarding and outlining content, and that's really how I approach all of my content now. Before I film a video, I have a rough idea of what the video is going to be about, some different points that I want to hit on, and potentially some different shots that I might need to get if it's not going to be a single perspective video of overhead or head-on or something like that. So actually today's video I'm going to be showing you how I outlined and storyboarded an Instagram reel that I am hoping to publish before the end of this month. I think Instagram Reels is really the next wave of how people are going to be able to grow their accounts and reach new people in the coming year, and so I'm really trying to be a more active participant on Reels. Plus, I kind of find them to be fun. They can definitely take a lot of work for such a short period of time, but using a custom note-taking system like this system that I got from Tool, I've actually been able to find a consistent tool to help me now go ahead and plan these stories and reels out instead of writing it down in a random notebook or on a separate piece of paper and then potentially losing that paper or misplacing it, because that just definitely happened to me, unfortunately. But with the custom note-taking system from Tool, now I'll have a dedicated system where I can go ahead and outline all of these ideas and potentially even keep a running schedule of all the different pieces of content that I have going out during the course of the month, whether it's video or reel or something like that. So if you're interested in learning how you can save some time and organize with the products that Tool has sent me, stick around and I will go ahead and show you all the different products that they sent to me, as well as how I'll be using them to help me save time and stay organized with my video content. So this is a Tool custom note-taking system. I am new to Discbound. Obviously you guys have seen, I've mentioned how I'm kind of trying out Disc for the first time in this last year, and while my work planning system is a disc setup and my everyday planning system is a ring bound system, I do really find that I'm liking the disc. So when Office Depot reached out to offer me this product, I jumped on it because it was just another opportunity for me to test out how much I like disc bound. And so they sent me the rose gold option, which is what I chose, and I really like it. So this notebook, as I mentioned, is going to be basically a tool for me to work through my ideas for Instagram Reels. So previously I was using just a random notebook and just writing things down in it, but since I didn't have a formal system set up and didn't have a place that I was doing that regularly until really recently, I decided, you know, why not? I've got this new product in my lineup. Why don't I try planning out some Reels content using the Tool custom note-taking system to plan out that content? So this is one idea that I had recently that I want to get done before the end of the month. So I actually put the due date over here, and I have my handy highlighter over here, so I'm going to actually highlight that so I don't forget that this is something that is coming up pretty quickly here. And the highlighter is very saturated, it goes very smoothly and works really well on this paper, so definitely a good quality highlighter there. This little page flag also came with the pack that I got, and I decided to use the pink one because of course I like pink, that's my preference, and I thought to myself after I wrote the topic for this that maybe hacks is more of what I'm thinking instead of tips, so I put that there as maybe when I'm actually working on this reel in Instagram, making sure that I consider the title as I go to publish. So this is essentially the outline, like there'll be 5 items that I'm sharing as hacks that I've used in order to establish healthy habits, and then I went and wrote a shot list of the different points in the video. So you know, the first one, I've got my camera set up at my desk and I'll be opening my vitamin container to show how I use that as a way to make sure I take my vitamins every single day. This one here is this creator use a habit tracker section, and so I've decided the shot over here is going to be overhead shot of me actually highlighting my habit tracker insert, but of course if you're using any kind of other planner, you know, you might use stickers. I think the Moxie Life already has habit tracking built into the weekly system, so it just depends on whatever planning system you're using, and so on and so forth. So I've really gone ahead and figured out what the shot list is, so that way I'm not wasting time. The biggest thing that you can do to harm yourself as a content creator is waste time, because all of us, for the most part, have another job, you know, most of the time full-time, sometimes part-time, or maybe even have more than one job. I've, you know, only got the one job, but I'm also a mom, so that in a sense is another job for me as well. So because it's so precious to find time to be able to work on content, I really like to take my time to fill out an outline, and when I have the time to actually fill or complete that reel, I already know what it is that I'm gonna do and I don't have to spend a lot of time figuring it out in the moment. So the other thing is that this can help me figure out, you know, if there's a shot that's from a similar perspective for different pieces, then I can go ahead and just maybe the one shot happens at one point in the reel and then there's another point that it happens later in the reel. I can just knock out those 2 shots in the beginning and then just not have to reset up, you know, and do everything in sequence. I can do it in the way that makes the most sense. So working in the job that I've worked in over the years, having to plan and produce videos, it's really helpful to have an outline and a storyboard and a shot list so you can go ahead and use your time most effectively. So if you are interested in getting a system like this, I do have a link in the description. It's really simple. It's just literally blank pages, but I feel like that's awesome because it just feels like a blank canvas and you can just start going wild writing things down. And I really like this here because I was using it as a date system, but you could almost like bullet journal over here, make a column and turn it into like a status. So in production, editing, and then publish. So maybe do something like that. Like you could even plan out your content for an entire month. Like maybe you don't actually get into the nitty-gritty of the reel here or something like that, or maybe you do, whatever you choose. You can go ahead and make a list of all the content you plan on working on and then basically make marks as you go along, whether it's with the highlighters or the metallic pens that have different colors. There's the gray, the navy, this kind of burgundy-ish color, and a purple. You can go ahead and use that, or maybe even you want to use the page flags. Personally, I would lean to highlighter or a metallic pen to kind of color code it a little bit and basically check off the status as you go along. And what's great, of course, with the distance system is that if you were to do it like on a page like this, you could easily pull that out, put that at the beginning of your setup, and have that kind of as your monthly overview or yearly overview or whatever it is. However, whatever time basis you go ahead and plan your content, have that running here, and then in between have the different outlines and stories that you're creating for the different pieces of content that you're doing. So definitely could be a cool way, I think, in conjunction with a content planner or just being a content planner on its own. You could make this very versatile for you. And then like I said, with the disc system, it just gives you the flexibility to move things around as you need to based on whatever is happening with your content or what's going on in your life at that point. So definitely recommend that. And then of course the other products that they did send me that I'm not currently using right now because I just don't need it, but if you go ahead and fill up all these pages, which hopefully you do, hopefully you have that many ideas, you can go ahead and get bigger discs. So I believe that the size that I have in here currently is just a basic 1-inch disc, but these are 1.5-inch discs, and so you can have up to 200 sheets on here. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head how many pages I have in here already, but it's pretty significant. But definitely if I were to add more pages, I would 100% need to get bigger discs, and thankfully I already have them in my collection. Plus, if I want to switch out my current disc system to a black setup, now I've got that option to be able to do that. Loving this system and really grateful that I had the opportunity to get sponsored by Office Depot for this content and get to inform and enlighten you guys a little bit on how you can maybe approach planning your content a little bit more effectively. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you so much to Office Depot for sponsoring this content here. If you're interested in learning more about the products featured in this video from Tool, click on the link in my description and you'll be taken to the Office Depot website so you can shop these products and start creating some really great video content and making sure that you save time and use your time effectively as much as possible going forward. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing.